We have a new featured program here in MLB The Show 22. So you know how it goes. We got to go through all of the cards, all the content you have to keep an eye out on in MLB The Show 22. And I'm not going to lie, this isn't clickbait. This program's a very dope program, probably one of the best we've had all year. Let's go through the players, the cards you should be keeping an eye out in your packs, and what you should be getting on your team in MLB The Show 22. Going into the program here, you see there is a ton of players to get. First, we got to start off with our Classics pack. You get a few of these in the program. Definitely more collection fodder than anything. You can get some monthly awards out of Brandon Lau, Jackie Bradley Jr. As you look at the attributes, they each have their weaknesses, like Brandon Lau is low on the contact. Jackie Bradley Jr. is a little bit low on the power versus right. But if you have your theme teams, if you have your favorite teams, these cards are great for that. Danny Jansen and Ian Happ are great postseason cards. They definitely are limited in their use as well. But again, for the theme teams, very fun to use and also good for the collection for postseason. Pretty hard collection to get in comparison to some of the other ones like Rookie, Breakout, and so on. So it's good to have those. The monthly awards, I don't know how hard they are to get. However, these are good to have and stash in the inventory for quick sell, just in case you do need to get them for extra collection fuel. And if you need a future star card, Key Brian Hayes is your option. However, again, weaker on the hitting attributes. I don't see many people using this card on their teams, but collection fuel is definitely valuable and really easy to get in these packs, so always worth getting all 5 of those cards at the end of the featured program. Now we have a Flashback and Legend pack, and this one has a more diverse selection of cards. As you see, we've got Award Series, Finest, Prime, Sig Series, some of the biggest series in the game. So these ones are definitely all worth getting at basically quick sell. They will eventually get to quick sell price, basically, or at least close to it. So I would get all of them if you're still working toward George Brett or McCutchen, or even if you have them done, to keep on adding to your collections and prepare for the next collection, which may come somewhat soon. Jim Palmer isn't that great, but at least he's got a sinker, good Orioles theme team pitcher, but I don't see many people using him. If anyone's going to be using this pack, I think it's going to be Joe Smith. He's got a quirky submarine release. He's got 125 hits prime, which is top tier. He's not going to be that good because he only has 3 pitches and they aren't the best. But at least he's a little funky with his release. If you're someone who's never used him in BR or anything, this could be a very fun reliever to use. But again, theme team, collection fuel card for sure. Juan Pierre is also a very niche card, but I know some people like this type of player. If you're looking for the high speed, the high contact, low power type player, I mean, he's got 99 speed, which is really dope and valuable to have on your team. Justin Turner, nice for the prime card series, that's mainly it, but also pretty solid bat versus left. Again, just a little slow, and there are other better third base options. And another third base option that's definitely better is Tony Perez. This card actually is way closer to like a Ron Santo offensively than I really expected. This could be a very dope bat. But again, this card mainly gets value for being a Sig Series collection. Always good to have the collection fuel, and he'll get very cheap. He's already pretty cheap, and the program just dropped. Next, you slide over to the right here. You see there's a Prime Eric Davis at 175K. A nice Prime card yet again. I don't see that many people using him, but a dope bat versus left. Great pinch runner option off the bench, and could be a good defensive sub if you're someone who's rocking a bad defensive player. I do like Eric Davis cards, but 82 and 96 versus right is definitely a little bit weak. But that's not a problem. It's Eric Davis. It's not the biggest deal that his card is like this, but definitely not the most unusable card ever. But we have our big 3 bosses. You remember we got Chipper Jones, Billy Wagner, and Lou Gehrig. And I know a lot of people like me were very worried about these cards being underwhelming, mainly Chipper and Lou Gehrig, because as you have seen with our recent MLB The Show content drops like Ken Griffey Jr., Mickey Mantle, and so on, a lot of our players have been a little underwhelming. But I was worried. SCS definitely blew it out of the water. 125 hits and Ks per 9 on Billy Wagner. Always a top-tier lefty reliever option. He's got 4-seam sliders, curveball, changeup. Pretty solid pitch mix for a lefty reliever. However, there is always a slight weakness with Billy Wagner. I don't know if it's just his release point or that he just only has 1 fastball. He's not going to be the best reliever ever, but some people just struggle to hit him, and some people pitch really well with him. So lefty relievers, especially high overall like this, are always really valuable, especially if you can't get the extreme program done and get a Aroldis Chapman. This will be probably the number 2 reliever that's a lefty in the game right now. So worth a try if you need that depth in your bullpen. Next, we have Chipper Jones, the player that I was really worried for. And I'm not going to lie, they nailed this card. I've been saying a lot recently that a lot of mid-year cards are kind of for these big named players, and Chipper Jones is a big named player that you would hope gets a really good 99. And this card is very viable at this current point in the game. 109 and 102 versus right is very good. It's not as good as someone like Josh Donaldson or George Brett, but still very solid. 125 and 111 versus left is elite. You face Randy Johnson, this card he's gonna rake. 98 vision is also underrated. People, have their preference on vision and such, but 98 is that nice sweet spot that I personally enjoy. Yeah, the discipline and clutch might be a little bit high in this card, but at least the hitting attributes are really there for him. He is losing defensively a bit. 75 fielding isn't great, and 67 speed really isn't valuable. But, at the end of the day, Chipper is being used for the switch hit bat, and you could find a way to get him in your lineup with the left field secondary and playing him at short if you really want to use him and you have Donaldson and Brett. For me, I might try him at short. I might try him at third. I don't know what I'm going to do with this card, but very nice option, and they made him very viable at this point in the game, which I think they nailed this card in comparison to our other big name content drops recently, like Mickey Mantle and Ken Griffey Jr. Then 99 Prime Lou Gehrig. This is definitely still a good card. It's not as good as Milestone Lou Gehrig last year, but if you look at your first base options, this is definitely one of the best, if not the best, depending on how you play this game. For me, having the 125 contact versus right in a very right-hand pitcher meta is great. The 104 power is very solid as well. It should play very nicely. The silver fielding is fine. He'll get up to gold at parallel 5. And he's got the reverse splits with the power, so he's got more power versus left than righty. So, he's taking a slight contact decrease versus left. The 111 power plays great. I was using Robinson Cano, and he kind of plays like this. He's basically a beefier Robbie Cano offensively. So, I love Lou Gehrig's swing, and I do plan on using him at first base. I think I might bench George Brett for the sake of it. Is that the smart move? Maybe not. But I'm going to try Lou Gehrig and find a way to get him in the lineup. Also, I just realized he has secondary positions at left field and right field. All right, I think I found my right fielder. I can't believe he has these secondaries. I've never seen that on a Lou Gehrig card before. Dope. So, of the three bosses, there really isn't one right answer. The safe pick is Billy Wagner because I think this is a card that basically everyone can find use for on their teams. At the end of the day, though, it really doesn't matter that much because all these cards are good and it comes down to the player that you enjoy. And at the very least, this isn't like other featured programs where it felt like there was one card that was the most viable. All three of these cards have a purpose. If you want the switch hitter in your lineup and haven't found a third baseman you've liked, get Chipper. If you're looking for that first baseman, or if you want a corner outfielder because he could play in the outfield now, Lou Gehrig is a great pick. If you need the reliever help, Billy Wagner is a great pick. For me, I'm probably going to take Lou Gehrig first. I don't like pitching with Billy Wagner cards, and I have third base pretty locked down, and I could slide him in right, which is really nice. But there really is no wrong answer with this card in this pack. Let me know in the comments, who do you think you're going to end up taking in this first go in the featured program? And then after, on the rest of the program, you got your Home Run Derby All-Star Game packs. I don't know why they aren't releasing the Future Star cards, like the Future Star program cards and the Face the Franchise cards again. I would have loved to see them release again. If you're someone who hasn't bought them, you may want to consider buying them if they are cheap enough as of right now because there aren't any being dropped. Also, there is a new event. If you have not seen the new event, it's a 2-week-long event, which makes me a little sad. However, there's a 99 Lorenzo Kane and a 99 Elvis Andrus. And not gonna lie, Elvis Andrus isn't bad. Like, if you are a Rangers fan and like cards like him, this is actually a viable shortstop. He isn't as good as some of our other options, but he has a 100 power versus left. He's kind of like a Jason Kendall type hitter, which is pretty neat. So I think it's a dope shortstop if you want to try him. And then Lorenzo Kane. Yeah, 107, 76 versus right is a little bit weak, but this is a great defender in center field. Gonna be very solid versus left. Could be a pretty underrated center field option with that 93 speed if you're someone who likes Lorenzo Kane. I don't think that many people want him, but a pretty neat card if you're looking for a nice retro finds to add to your outfield. Then, of course, you have your rewind packs. Home Run Derby All-Star Game. They're getting those packs out there, so I'm getting the vibe that Home Run Derby All-Star Game players should get very cheap here soon. So if you have not gotten 99 Jackie Robinson, your opportunity to get him will probably be in this stretch of this featured program. And I think that is basically it for the new content. We still have our same headliner Francisco Alvarez, and I think that is essentially it in the game here. I should finally note before I end, if you're someone who is doing the collections with the featured program, the one with the extreme players, if you collect them last program, you can't collect them this program for the XP, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of sucked. I wish that was made clearer, because right now, I just locked them in. You've never had a collection where you couldn't collect it again later, and for some reason, they have them still collected. I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully, we'll see a fix on that, or at least some statement on that. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this featured program. I appreciate you all watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how you feel about this vibe where I just one take a video and try to get it recorded right away. But I appreciate you all watching. Have a great rest of your day. Come swing by the Twitch stream. I will be live all this evening, grinding out some rank, doing some stuff in the featured program, maybe playing some event games, so I can keep on getting some XP and trying to get these bosses as soon as possible. I do plan on trying all of them as soon as possible. You have a great rest of your day. Make sure you are subbed to the channel as well to keep up with the other content and my tier list stuff. I'll be making videos on those here soon. But you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Deuces.